we're gonna check out ETHUSD, ETHBTC, and Ether futures. And what I see on the chart is that we have this beautiful channel, right? We have those red lines and everything is so parallel. Even the center line here, it's so parallel. And what I want to tell you about is like, for example, look at those dots, right? We had that zone, we broke out. Once we broke out, we had that huge rally, right? Um, took that as a support, took it again as a support, had a false breakout, and once we had that false breakout and we were able to get back in to the channel, we started this huge rally, right? Which was around 5,000%, I think, 4,800%, right? So such a false breakout as we had here basically can be a counter signal or can be a signal that we go, hey, okay, was a false breakout. We now go back into the channel. We now have a huge rally coming up, right? And then what you see here as well is this center trend lines from the channel. They are heavy resistance, like it was here, as it was here, and here it was support, right? And also we could actually drag it back down. Another false breakout here. And what we see right now is that in that zone, we already bounced from that trend line, right? So of course, we again have the scenario where we just bounce again, bounce from here and do whatever. Bounce again and maybe go up, right? Go fill some gaps. I'm gonna show you right after and move to those levels. But anyway, if we reach those levels, which I don't believe we are going to do because of all other charts and how bad they look, I think even if that happens, we would come back down and drop eventually, right? But what I think is a more likely scenario is that we are going to drop and break that line and then maybe bounce around somewhere here, right? And then, okay, let's say we bounce, we may then build some bottoming formation with some RSI divergence, which could look like something like this on the chart, and then something like this on the RSI. So the RSI 30 first, and then the RSI 40 or something like this, right? So it's diverging, right? And so for me, that's an interesting zone to consider buying Ether again. Due to those many factors like the horizontals, the trend line of the channel, and yeah, I just think there is a chance this could be something here. But now let's have a quick look at ETHBTC, and this is what I don't really like, the strength of Ether, because we lost this trend line. So we're gonna lose much more, I believe, compared to Bitcoin. Um, Maybe it's uncertainty in the whole market. So if Bitcoin drops a bit and isn't able to quite recover very fast, maybe maybe the altcoins are going to suffer. And that's also what I think when I look at the total chart, which has soon a bottom maybe, but the total two chart, which has to drop way further. I think there is a high chance that Ether is going to drop way more versus US dollar than Bitcoin is going to drop. But anyway, what I believe is that we're gonna drop to maybe those levels where you see some horizontal support, right? And maybe bounce a bit, and then probably go down lower. And this is probably then again a good buy zone because we have so much support as you see here. We had the huge resistance here, came back. I mean, this was in 2016 to 2017, and from that resistance line, we dropped 70%, right? So, but on the other hand, once we were able to break through that line and took the other side of the chart, and then we bounced from it, and we did like moves 400% up, and another 67% up, and so on, right? And then here we lost it again. We lost that line again. Here we have another bounce as well. But here we lost it, took it as a resistance, right? And we did some accumulation in that zone actually. So what I think is likely is that we're gonna bounce from here as well, right? Then we have the first, the second, the third, and the fourth bounce, which I don't think looking overall at this chart, it will be too early, in my opinion, to just break down lower, right? And just go to these levels. But what I see happening, or what could happen in the next 4 to 5 years, is we come down to those levels, right? We come down like this. We bounce from here. I think there are going to be a lot of buyers here, and then we could move up slowly, like an ABC correction maybe, and come up to those levels. And then let's see if we have enough power to escape that downtrend line, or if we more likely are going to go down again. And then this could be this could play out over the years as something like this, which doesn't have to interest us too much right now, but there is a chance we're gonna just lose it, and at some point this descending triangle is going to end up somewhere here, which doesn't have to mean that Ether is bad, but the, the value of ETHUSD is going to be far less than the value of Bitcoin, right? So we're gonna, if that plays out like this or till, I don't know, 2027, 28, then Bitcoin could probably go to 200,000 or whatever, and Ether could be stuck somewhere around, I don't know, we could calculate it, but somewhere around, I don't know, 2 to 5,000, right? And just not move as fast as Bitcoin does. And actually, something else I want to show you is, which is actually quite good to see, is that we have gaps in the Ether futures chart, on the Ether futures chart, and on the Ether grayscale chart, right? So there are gaps, and those gaps over time they're gonna be filled. So at some point we come back to $2,600 a Ether and $1,600. So first zone 1,600, then at some point in time we're gonna move to 2,600. So that is promising, and if you consider that it's going to fall further down to 300 maybe, somewhere here, then this is a huge trade, right? That would be quite a deal. And I love those gaps. I think they work out so often that it's worth considering just buying at some points because it's going to go up again. And this market is so volatile, so it can do those moves of times 8x or 7x, right? But yeah, let's wrap it up for that video, and hope to see you in the next one. Please like and subscribe. And what I want to show you in the next one is some other altcoins